What up, fam bam? You know what time it is. Frank Bizet in the building. It's been a minute. Boxing kind of slow. I don't hit the one if you can hear me. It's been a minute since I used this. So trying to get my feet wet, get back into it, talk a little smack. You know it's boxing, man. Boxing, you just never know, right? Like, you know, Tank Davis, Jake Paul, is it gonna happen? Was it gonna happen? Looks like it's not. They wanted Ryan, crying Ryan, right? And then Oscar said, "Hell to the no." Oscar being a little hater, but it is what it is, man. Looks like he might fight Mario Barrios. So, yeah, man. You know what? Boxing is gonna continue, man. It's gonna continue. The big story. Everybody kind of forgot about what happened, man. The title of the stream, man. Canelo took a L, bro. Yes, yes, yes. Canelo lost. I wasn't here for it. I watched the fight. Did you guys watch the fight? Let me just get around. Let me just ask everybody, okay? All one of you. Let me just ask the people, man. So, I know it's gonna come back slowly. The people coming back. I've been MIA. Had to do some things, but I still love boxing, man. It's the number one sport. Shout out to the Yodgers, for their World Series. Hit a one, man. If you guys can hear me, am I speaking to myself? Let me know, please. I'm gonna have better audio for you guys in the future. This is just I'm really on my phone. I'm just coming back for a quick minute, and I want to jump right to it. Let me know, man. Let me know. Hit a one. Hit a one if you can hear the homeboy. Homeboy, holla, 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 holla. Hope you guys are doing good, man. I appreciate the real ones, the support. You know, um, Otherwise I'd be talking to myself, right? And that wouldn't be too fun. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. I'm good to hear the homeboys. See how you guys are doing. Um, you know, but yeah, man, yeah. It looks like what's coming up. Benavides, Devin Haney. Devin Haney will be challenging Brian Norman. So boxing's never dead, man. Boxing is never dead. It'll never die. There's too many degenerates. But congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers on a back-to-back win. The Japanese showed up and showed out in a great World Series. Game 7 came down to extra innings, and I'm a San Francisco Giants fan because I am from the Bay Area. But they did it. They did it. And boxing's kind of slow right now. But what's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? Uh, so as I've been MIA, I still watch the fight. I watched Canelo Crawford. Now, let me ask: Did Canelo lose? Obviously, he lost. I know he lost, right? But I wanted to do this, man. I wanted to do this because I watched the fight, and it was a boring fight. I didn't see much happening. I mean, is it just me? Have I lost my touch? You know, was it a banger of a fight? Were they slugging it out? I mean, or was it, or did you guys see what I seen that nothing really happened? I mean, look, man, Canelo lost, right? He took a L. After it, he had the shoulder surgery or elbow surgery. So, I don't know if he had it while he was fighting it, if it happened before, but talking, I don't know if you guys seen the Exodus Files. I think I don't know if you can click on the link, but the picture's there. Shout out BDA, he reposted it. It came on my timeline, but I checked it out. It's about a half an hour, and it just kind of, um, it's called the Puppet Show, right? And that's what I noticed watching the fight. I mean, look, it was pro Crawford. I know a lot of people thought Canelo was gonna go knock him out, and he should have knocked him out. That's my feelings about Canelo. I felt Canelo fought. Um, he didn't do enough in the end. But did he lose? I don't think anybody. The documentary is not asking us if Canelo won. I don't think it's saying Canelo won. because if you tell people you say Canelo won, you'll just be labeled a hater and you're a Canelo fangirl and you can't deal with it. But that's not the issue. The main issue with the documentary is that Bud Crawford dominated. And that when I after the fight, I went on social media because I really don't go on social media that much. Really don't listen to boxing shows that much, for the most part. It's been a while. That's why I've been MIA. I like to just take a break on things, here and there because I think it's good. You can't be obsessed with this stuff. You can't be all crazy about it. I used to get in shouting matches, and it's not worth it, man. I have my opinion. That's all I'm here to do, and hopefully you guys like it, appreciate it. And you enjoy it. It's entertainment. It is what it is. So if they're saying, "Oh, you're Canelo fangirls, your God," somebody in the chat said your Canelo, your God got beat. Canelo is not my God. I never made my show or my boxing takes centered on Canelo Alvarez. Just never did. He's just literally the face of the sport. It's like if you talked about basketball, you talk about LeBron James. He's just gonna bring the eyeballs. It just is what it is. Now it's Shohei Ohtani. If you talk about baseball, you can't talk about baseball without talking about Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers, and they have the most money, so they make the noise. Been a cool minute. Salute Frank Bay. Yeah, thank you, man. Salute Alfredo, Cutthroat, Sarge, the real ones. You guys are savages, loyal, and I know you guys keep it real. Fine. Yeah, you know what? I can't even change it, man. StreamYard really be trying to get you, bro. I'm gonna pay for it because I want to switch it up. But it was, I guess, the last live I did. This was who was popping. That's Mackenzie Dern, a UFC fighter. She's pretty good. But yeah, you gotta appreciate a good work of art. You know what I'm saying? I heard you on BD. I knew you was coming back. Yeah, man. BD is a real one. He keeps it real. He's pretty fair and objective and unbiased. If you actually listen to him, I've never hid that I'm pro Canelo, and it's never been about being a Canelo fangirl. It's just, he carries the sport. That's all you can say about it. Literally, that's all you can say about it. How's the volume and the music? Is the music at a decent level? Let me know. But guys, help me out. Do you guys think even Canelo won? I had it a draw. And I don't score the fight when I'm watching. That's the other thing. You would think that everybody watching the fight had a pen and paper or watching every punch. That's not how people watch fights. You're watching it with friends and family. You're drinking. You're getting tacos. You're looking at the chicks. So you're looking on your phone. People don't watch the fight, and that's such disingenuous behavior, right? You hear these dudes, Crawford dominated, bruh. Man, he dominated. I'm like, bro, he did not dominate. You just a hater. Like, I guess I am a hater. But when I watched the fight, I've watched it about 3 or 4 times. I had it scored Canelo beat Crawford. I had it 116. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And those are unpopular opinions. 10-2? 10-2 who? Crawford? Yeah, I'm here. I heard that Crawford 10-2. Whatever, bro. That's fine, bro. I mean, look, man, I'm not here to make it a Canelo channel and tell you he won. See, that's the mistake that people will do, right? If you're a fan of Canelo or Mexican boxing and things of that nature, is you can't get on here and say that he won. Okay, you have to be pretty fair. My opinion, I didn't see anybody do that much. Because when I first watched it, I was just like, man, they're gonna rob Canelo. I knew it. And I don't mean rob. What I'm saying is they're not gonna give him any credit. See, I'm not saying Canelo got robbed. What I'm saying is he got robbed of any credit. And if you watch the Exodus file, that is the main argument, is that they gave Canelo no credit. Zero. Mars Boxeo. It was a domination. Why did Crawford ask Bowman? You know what? And a lot of people missed that. It's funny how people will gloss over that. And the argument, there's a counter for a reaction. There's a reaction, right? That's just natural law of science, right? For every action, there's a reaction, and a reaction to the reaction, and we live in a social media world. So anything you say goes is times 1,000. See, people miss that. With social media, you can be a nobody and get 1,000 people looking at what you say. So everything's magnified, right? So what was my point? We knew he was gonna get robbed. Okay, when we say robbed, we got to be careful. Was he robbed of a victory? What I'm saying is he was robbed of any credit. It's like, how can you watch a fight like that and get no credit for anything you did? I mean, it's like he never landed a punch. Mars Boxeo, Exodus Files did a great job exposing Max Kuckerman and Andre Board. Yeah, he got zero credit. I mean, and one of the main arguments on the Exodus Files was that the unofficial score. They showed that how Harold Letterman, HBO Boxing, used to be the unofficial score, and the argument was saying, Letterman would, when he broke it down and pointed out the rounds and who and why, he gave credit for everything the fighter did, what he did and didn't do, and what the other guy did, winning the match. Like, hey, yeah, Oscar Fernando was getting outboxed, but he landed the harder punches. Like, when was the last time we ever, and I'm speaking in general, because we look at the Shakiras and the way they box, but when was the last time we ever gave a guy for cracking somebody over the skull? You know what I mean? Like, when he lands a hard punch, it's almost like that never happens. He doesn't get credit for, like, damn, he socked that dude up. It's more like, oh, he's not getting hit. It's like people, it's become so topsy-turvy and twisted, is that fighters are getting more credit for not getting hit than actually scoring with the punches landed. You see what I'm saying? Fraud Mayweather really changed the game in that sense. Is that, look, man, I don't agree with Rock'em Sock'em. Like, we know who Rock'em Sock'em is, right? I mean, there's guys in boxing that have no skill. There just is. They go in, Fabio Wardley and Josh Parker was an excellent fight. It was a lot of Rock'em Sock'em, but there was boxing going on. Josh Parker was boxing, but he got clever lane. He got hit harder. The harder puncher won. But these new generation, or these new quasi boxing fans that love to hit and not be hit, it's like, if you go in to knock your opponent out, oh, that's Rock'em Sock'em. Does that appear weird to you? That how all of a sudden we discredit the guy, number one, trying to make the fight, and let it not go over anybody's head that Canelo made that fight. Imagine if Canelo had just circled him. He literally could have followed Crawford around the entire fight and did nothing. And Crawford wasn't gonna make the fight. I'm telling you, bro. Look, man, if anybody wants to challenge me, let's put $50 on the line, and let's all watch the fight together. Because I want them to be able to point out where Crawford dominated. Norman gonna get robbed by Haney and Turkey is a good chance. Look, Devin Haney and Shakira and Crawford, they're very good at running. Look, man, I don't want to hear this talk that Crawford is not a runner. There's plenty of evidence. When he fought Victor Postal, he was running. He did not stop bouncing. He didn't. It looked very similar to Haney Ramirez. Look, man, in boxing, somebody has to make the fight. If you have guys like Shakira, like Haney, back foot bitches, that their mind is, look, I'm gonna move around the ring the entire fight and I'm not gonna stop. Well, then who's supposed to make the fight? How does the person that is trying to make the fight get no credit? But see, what happens is that the guy trying to make the fight, he looks for the worser, right? Because and that's what happened to Canelo. A lot of the kaleidoscope, the perception was that because Canelo had to look bad. He was gonna have to look bad if he was gonna try to score, right? Because look, this guy's moving, not stopping, and I have to throw, but you're gonna look bad because you're missing. But nothing was coming back. Look, I mean, maybe for the one round where everybody snapshotted Canelo's head moving, okay. But they replayed that probably a million times to convince you that Crawford was letting his hands go. it was very similar to when Crawford fought Madrimov. Crawford did not let his hands go in that fight either. He just didn't. If Teo fights security, yeah, he's gonna get robbed for sure, for sure. But look, man, Crawford won. He did. He won. I think it was a sick, it was a draw, but I could see it going either way. Crawford could have won. Canelo could have won. It just really depended on who got the excuse me, who got the swing round. There were a ton of what people call swing rounds where it was very close, and I looked at the numbers. You know, maybe I'll do a further breakdown, but I kind of wanted to just go off the top of the dome about the fight and watching it, rewatching it. But look, man, the numbers. When I looked at the numbers, the CompuBox numbers, Crawford landed a total of 10 punches the first 3 rounds. And when you say that, it kind of goes over people's heads. What do you mean? I go, well, like literally the first 3 rounds. I'm not saying he landed 10 punches in each round. I'm saying he landed 10 punches the entire 3 rounds. In the first round, I think he got 1 or 2, but they gave him the fight. I mean, that's a case of giving somebody the fight. Frank from the Bay watched Fubu TV take on Canelo Crawford. Yeah, he's a character. He's kind of a character. Nobody takes him serious, but I will. I mean, look, man, the Exodus Files points it out. Is that the commentary was just so slanted and biased, is that it fooled everybody into believing Crawford dominated, and that's the point that kind of upsets me. And I'm not upset where I'm gonna want to fight somebody. It's just more of being like, dude, why are they trying to convince me I seen something I didn't see? That's what upsets me. You did the new term, everything fake news, and the news is lying to you, and everybody's lying to the public, and maybe it's true. I mean, there are things as a conspiracy theory. We just seen the NBA go down. So it does happen. But that's kind of what I was thinking watching Canelo Crawford. In my mind, what it looked like Canelo, and this is just my opinion, but it looked like Canelo knew there was going to be a rematch. Tell me if you guys think I'm right. Because after the fight, I guess people, another thing they throw out is they go, Canelo said he lost. Canelo said he lost. I was like, did Canelo really say he lost? BB, y'all Mason still crying, Bud dominator Canelo. He didn't dominate. You're a puppet. But salute, thank you for the like. Guys, don't forget to like. We're going to try to get it popping. Please like. But you know what, man? A lot of people would boot you, but I'm open to everybody. If anybody wants the link, just hit say drop link. I wasn't going to plan on it. But yeah, man, it felt like a sparring match. It felt, it seemed like it's almost like Canelo was just kind of taking it easy on them. That sounds crazy, right? But what I mean is, it felt like he wasn't going to go all out. He was just gonna try to box Crawford, land the harder shots. But it didn't seem like he was ever gonna just go for it and try to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? It almost looked like he knew there was gonna be a rematch. Like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna box him. Maybe I lose, and then we're gonna fight again. But obliviated. And you know what I hear that's crazy, even crazier, is that all these people are like, yeah, Canelo, next time he's gonna get knocked out. It looked like he was ready to get knocked out. I'm like, I just didn't see that. JA, salute, thank you. Hit the like, don't be a hater. When was the last time Canelo went all in a fight apart from GG? Well, look, man, he's not a typical Mexican style. He actually, one of the reasons I had stopped liking Canelo Alvarez was after the Floyd Mayweather fight. I'm like, why did you go in there and try to box him? But he explained that was his plan. He really wanted to he thought he could outbox Floyd Mayweather. It's almost like he said, okay, I may not be as good as a boxer as Mayweather, but my power will be the difference. So I can box him, and then boom, I'm gonna catch him with the shot and it'll be over. And that's the way it looked like with Crawford. He was content to box. You could see it. He was doing a lot of movement, kind of moving his head. And Canelo had excellent defense on that fight. Look, Crawford did a lot of pity patting. The man threw 300 jab. I think he threw 500 jabs and only landed 12% of them. Crawford missed a lot of punches. He had a pathetic 13% land rate. Same with the Bifo. He was content with losing a decision. Look, man, if you watch that fight, you could just look. Canelo was just too small for Bivol. It is what it is. I mean, look, it's boxing, bro. It's not like I'm crying over Canelo or I'm just breaking down the fight. So hate it or love it, I'm telling you what I seen, and I didn't see a domination, and I really didn't see much. I know for sure the first six rounds for sure, not much went on. Don't use comp. Well, what are you? Well, that okay. Here's my challenge to you. If you say don't use comp box, go watch the first 3 rounds and tell me what I'm missing. No, you didn't. You're lying. Show the receipt, dude. Show the betting slip. Stop lying. If you don't believe CompuBox, go. Let's watch the fight together. You don't have to show your face or even speak, but we could watch the fight together, and you tell me where they were wrong. If it's so, because that's what I heard too. Oh, CompuBox is not accurate. Okay, it may not be perfect, but at least the first 3 rounds, tell me where Crawford landed more than 10 punches total the first 3 rounds. Mars, you can't. That's messed up, man. And it's not even a joke anymore, but nah, good one. Yeah, man. I don't use that's fine. Then you're just a liar till then. But look, man, we could watch the fight together. See, that's the other thing. Nobody will watch the fight again. You know, and they say, oh, watch the fight with the sound off. I don't need to do that. I don't get fooled. When I was hearing the unofficial salute Hawker, thank you, bro. Salute. Thank you. Hit the like, guys. I need them likes so we can grow. You know what I'm saying? And this is not about Canelo Alvarez. This is not about Bud Crawford. It's about what the boxing people are trying to tell me. Probably spending all on crack. You guys are hilarious. It's what they're trying to convince me. And I didn't see that. I didn't see a particularly good fight. The only rounds that were good were maybe the 10th or whenever Crawford landed like 20 punches. There was a round I think he did land 20 punches. In the last round, they went at it. But even then, when they said the 12th round they went at it, dude, there was a lot of slapping. There was a lot of misses. That's what's crazy. Dude, please, let's watch the fight together. And when they were supposedly exchanging, they were not particularly hard shots. Both guys were kind of pulling back. Nobody got hurt that fight. You know, and Crawford even said, oh yeah, I did all that smiling to convince the judges that I was having fun. You know, and Canelo was in there sweating trying to chase the guy. But I counted 20, 30 seconds where Crawford literally did nothing. There would be 30-second spots, and if you had enough guts to watch it with me, I will get the timer and I'll say, tell me when Crawford does work, and we can use a stopwatch, and you'll see 20 seconds will go by where he's just walking around smiling, doing nothing. But that's Canelo's fault too. You know what I mean? He didn't do enough. You know, and what can I say, man? I mean, he had a guy running. And don't tell me he didn't run. Like I said, you can see, I seen it with my own eyes. He did a lot of back footing. There was not many exchanges where he sat in the pocket and exchanged. He did a lot of pitter pattering. Okay, he's a good enough boxer that he can make it look good. But it was not a particularly exciting fight. People, we were watching and it was kind of ho-hum. There was a lack of excitement. There was a lack of action. And when you say, oh no, it's a high level chess, it's hitting. Well, look at Parker Worley. That was a fantastic fight. Those guys were banging it out. That's what people want to see. That's what people will remember. But Crawford, Canelo won. Pretty forgettable. Matador, Mexicans love meth like them whiteys. Hey man, everybody loves drugs. Don't hate. I don't do drugs. I advocate against drugs. But hey, man, people need help. Okay? Don't be a hater. Be a congratulator. You know? Don't ever be a quitter. But you guys aren't telling me, man. Did Crawford dominate? Did you guys even watch the Exodus Files? But I mean, look, man, is Crawford good? Yes, he's good. But as far as this generational Mount Rushmore, he's not Mount Rushmore. You know, I mean, Tiafimo said it. It said beating a faded Canelo is not Mount Rushmore. Did Canelo look faded? I wouldn't say he looked faded. I just think he looked older. I mean, he's out. You know, they'll say, "Oh, well, Crawford's older." Well, yeah, but he doesn't have a lot of damage. Crawford has 5 fights in 6 years, and Canelo has, uh, 12. You know, he has almost 70 fights. That matters. Canelo's a smaller guy. That was the other thing about the Exodus, is that they try to tell you that Crawford was, a freaking lightweight going up to super middle, jumping 800 divisions. It's like, no, bro, he walks around at 180. He's not a little guy. That's fake news. It was a lie. You're a puppet if you believe that. That didn't happen. Number one, Crawford did not dominate. That didn't happen. And if you disagree, please, let's watch the fight together. I will put up my money, $50. I will put up $50 because I'm not a gambler. Okay, I play poker. I don't gamble on sports. As we know, it's rigged. Okay. But I'm willing to watch the fight with you. And if you can show me where Crawford dominated, say one round. Okay, one round doesn't win a fight. Nick Siren, everyone knows Frank Bay is a little. Oh man, you guys are hilarious with these. Hey man, it's not about race. Now, is it racial? Yes, but it's not about race. I watch an African American fighter as much as I watch a Ukrainian fighter. It doesn't have a place in sports. We want to see who the best man on the planet is. You didn't watch it, Hawker? Well, you're not a boxing fan. I'm sorry. But race does play it. It does. We cannot deny it. Look, do African Americans have a certain style of boxing? Yeah. And they're pretty good at it. Do Mexicans have a certain style? Yeah, and they're pretty good at it. Gennady Golovkin made a career out of Mexican style. Hit the like, guys. Don't forget to hit the like. So, and the Soviets, the Bivols, the Usyks, the Madrimovs, they have their European in and out style. They're on their toes boxing, rhythm, the Sugar Ray Leonards and the Haneys, they're slick. You was rooting for Canelo. Look, man, Canelo lost. I'm not here to convince you he won. I'm just saying, when I watched the Exodus Files, when I first watched it, because I wasn't on the YTBC, I don't watch YouTube, boxing talk. I'm not on Twitter. I need to take breaks, Bomb Squad, thank you. Eric Gomez, real ones. I need breaks, okay? But I love you guys because you guys are solid and real. And I'm just like you. I get fanatical. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then I need breaks because I need to figure out what I think. You know what I'm saying? Canelo. Yep. He's still the face. Believe it or not, there's no bigger fight for Crawford than that. Respect, for sure, homie. You know what I'm saying? There's not many of us boxing fans left. Real hardcore ones that can know the Inuis, the Bam Rodriguez's. There's just not. And we're all we got. Right? You sound, yeah. Look, man, I don't know. Maybe that's you. That's your preference. I respect everybody's preferences. I even respect yours if you're of that type. And I don't hate. See, that's the difference. I don't hate on nobody. What I don't like is just people trying to convince me that I seen something that I didn't. And I didn't see Crawford dominate. Did I see him win? Maybe. There's a lot of damn maybes in life, right? There's people in prison that maybe did it, that didn't. And people with closed minds put innocent men in prison, right? Are there free men? Are there guilty people walking around? Yeah. Maybe people closed their mind. Maybe they had prejudices. They didn't like a certain something about somebody. They didn't like his haircut and they said guilty, or he was a good looking guy and they said, oh, he's innocent. He's good looking, So that happens. That's just how we are, bro. People are prejudiced. We are all prejudiced. Now, racism is different. Okay, that's when you have power and you hate against a certain people, and you can keep them out of apartments, right? Because you don't like their skin color or their breath. You don't like the food they eat. But just prejudices, we all have it, right? I'm a torta pounder. I like my tortas. Some of you guys like skinny chicks. It is what it is. But don't be a hater. Okay, all the sanctioning bodies have Canelo placed to make Bud fight Canelo if he tries to wiggle out. Who? Crawford is gonna wiggle out? All the judges, yeah, and that's I'm glad you pointed it out. That's the other thing, the AI judge. But people are not, oh, AI, I don't respect that. Yeah, they do until their fighter loses, then they'll point to the AI. That's just how we're built, right? Bud likes tortas. Yes, he is a certified torta pounder. Bud is. He gets points with me. And I don't hate Bud Crawford. I don't know Bud Crawford. I don't hate Bud Crawford. I just don't think he dominated. Who would you have winning Fury Wilder? I had Fury dominating until he got knocked down. Fury outboxed Wilder until the last round. I mean, Wilder had his moments, but look, man, that's why they call it judging too. Look, man, you can like Bud Crawford's running and not getting hit, making Canelo look silly, missing, because that happened. There were a lot of instances where Canelo had swung and missed and looked bad, and that's gonna happen. Or you could like Canelo's pressure. That's why it's called judging. I don't know where we missed that part, that it's judging, and we have our likes and dislikes. There's going to be people that don't like the running, and there's going to be people that like the running, or not even running, but like making the guy miss. You know what I'm saying? That's just a preference. Like, you don't like tortas, I do. I don't like extra. Don't get it twisted. I don't like, extra large. I don't even eat extra large. I get mediums everywhere I go. I always get the medium. I don't like wasting food. I was raised to not waste food. You know what I'm saying? And if she's extra large, that's a sign that she doesn't take care of herself. But no, some people have health issues. So you have to respect that too. Seems like you like the runner in Fury 1, but not the runner in Crawford Canelo. But there's the difference, J.A. I hear what you're saying. See, there's a lot of people you can go to, you criticize them or talk to them, and you go at them, and they're going to boot you. But me, I respect it. I like it. I like to be challenged. Here's the difference. Wilder's not a good boxer. He wasn't boxing the way Canelo was boxing. You can't sit here, J.A., and tell me that Wilder is a good boxer equal to Fury. His is the power. And he landed it, and he got a draw. Sonny Edwards clapped Clarissa. Hey, he likes the chocolate. Hey, who doesn't like chocolate? Look, man, if you say you don't like chocolate, I can't help you, bro. I'm international. I like them all, from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. If there was a badass alien chick, I might bang. Who wouldn't bang an alien chick? Who thinks alien pussy is good pussy? Does anybody think aliens have good stuff? I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna try to keep it kind of family, okay? What's a good word for the ussy? Okay, we're men, dog. I'm a hornball. I know you, any boxing fan, if you like blood and guys banging it out, you're a hornball. Like 9 out of 10 boxing fans are hornballs, or extremely queer, right? Extremely other side, right? Because they like men. Whoa. Fat girls are cool until they're 40. Whoa, I don't know who you are dating. Damn, just don't feed her McDonald's. Say, hey, chick, get us, them salads are good. Did you see Mackenzie Dern win the title or Aspinall quit? Nah, man, I haven't. You know what? I've been lacking on my MMA. It seemed like there hasn't been any. Clarissa only likes the BB. Nah, Clarissa likes it all, man. I heard she a freak. She a freaky deaky. Anyway, man, back to the Crawford, the certified torta pounder. I got nothing against the guy. He's a hell of a fighter. Could Crawford beat Floyd Mayweather? I don't really care. I hate that. Boxing, anybody can get it. Yes, I'm international, dude, and I literally have a map, and I have a thumbtack for every nationality that I've pinned, if you know what I mean. There's still some places I'm missing. You know what I'm saying? I think I've been with every nationality. I really do. I think the only thing I'm missing is Eskimo. So if you know an Eskimo chick, or you date an Eskimo chick, holla at your boy, because I need an Eskimo before I go. Has anybody had an Eskimo chick? It gotta be good, right? Because they're in the snow. It gotta be hella warm. She gotta have a little, a little cushion, right? Because they need that, right? Because they sleep in igloos. Nah, I'm just kidding, man. I don't know. I mean, I think they look kind of Eurasian, Eskimos or Native Americanish. I'm looking forward. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a banger. Um, that is definitely a banger of a fight. Virgil Ortiz. Now, see, that's going to be action. You're not going to have to worry about judging. You're not going to have to worry about all the stuff that they ask us to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Virgil Ortiz, Erickson Lubin is going to be a banger. Now that, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to have to, Lubin is going to have to, he's going to have to knock Virgil out. But that is a certified banger. It is definitely going to be one for the record books. Virgil could get clipped. I mean, we've seen Virgil go down, right? But Virgil, man, he's next up, bro. We know Boots Ennis turned him down. But you guys haven't told me, man, well, I think you guys have said, so some people think Canelo won. But you guys haven't told me, did you watch the Exodus Files? Has anybody watched the Exodus Files? I think I'm gonna drop a link real quick, but get on quick. Lubin by TKO. Whoa. Now that would be a shocker though. That would definitely be a shocker of a fight. You know, this is Virgil is supposed to win. You watched the Exodus Files, and what'd you think? Are they onto something? Is it legit? Do you think they have a point? Look, my only problem is that Crawford didn't dominate. That's all I'm saying. Lubin isn't strong enough to keep Virgil off of him. Look, man, Lubin can crack. He cracked Pandora. He was in a war with them. Where'd you go all them years? It was a few months. I mean, I'm around, but bro, like I said, I like to take a break. You need a break from, social media is toxic. Not that you guys are toxic, but in the end, the social media is toxic. You know what I mean? You need to take a break from it. Clear your mind, sift through your thoughts, because there's a lot of fake news out there. You know what I'm saying? People would try to convince you that you didn't see what you seen, or when you seen something, it didn't happen, right? And they want to convince you of something, right? They want to convince you to their side. What I try to do, I present my opinion, my argument, but I'm not trying to convince you. All I want to do is make you think. And you say, hey, Frank Bay is full of shit, or maybe he's onto something. But what you need to do your own research. Go watch the Exodus Files. Watch Canelo versus Crawford with me. I'm willing to challenge anybody. J.A. I think Exodus Files is just a salty Mexican channel. All their videos are about black Mexican fighters trying to create a narrative, and to make it seem convincingly, they use a black guy to narrate. That's a good point. Maybe you're right. You could be right, but then you could be wrong. Who knows, right? It's the internet. You don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. You got a picture of Sonny Edwards, right? So, but it's the message. And it's funny that you say salty Mexican. How do you know it's not a salty African American? There are a lot of people that don't like Bud Crawford, believe it or not, that are African American. Go on social media. There was a lot of Earl Spence fans that hate what Crawford did to their hero. They had already said that he was juiced up for Earl Spence. We know he's with Snack. That's the other thing. Look, man, there's a lot of fishy things going on with Terrence Crawford. One of them was the size. That's what the Exodus Files. You know what I'm saying? Don't focus on who, focus on what. Exodus Files uses my vote to narrate. It's not Mexicans. I said I think it's a salty. Look, how do you know it's a Mexican? It could be an Ecuadorian. You know what I'm saying? Latin America is a huge continent. Don't ever forget that. Mexico is just one nation amongst other nations that are considered Latin American. Brown people, right? Allah Akbar, Iraqi Kuk. Well, welcome, Allah Akbar. Not my cup of tea, but thank you. Hit the like. You know what I'm saying? I think I dropped the link. Is the link in the chat? Let me know if you want to hop on and give me your 2 cents and convince me that Crawford dominated. Who's an Afro Anglo? I don't know. You're talking about the Exodus Files, mate? Is an Afro Anglo? Yeah, there's a lot of Bud Crawford haters. Look, we know Canelo has his haters. You know, there's a lot of Mexicans that hate Canelo. Believe it or not, there were a lot of Mexicans and Mexican channels, content creators, that hate Canelo Alvarez. Like I said, it's not a race thing, dude. Don't be fooled by the people. Listen to the message. It is up to you to use your critical thinking skills to decide. Right? It's real easy to discredit someone just because of how they look or how they sound. Right? But you're not getting the message. I'm not a salty Mexican. I was just born ready like Canelo. That's a good comeback, brother. Yeah, good one. So JA, if you're already saying it's just a salty Mexican, then you're not convinced what they say. You don't think they have any reasonable points. I didn't say good points. I didn't say truth. Okay, I said reasonable. Did they have any reasonable points? Because I don't think if you're a Crawford fan, you think he dominated, nobody's going to convince you otherwise. Just like nobody's going to convince me that he dominated. He didn't dominate. And nobody in here has said he's dominated. The lady is hot, bro. Vaughn. Thank you, Vaughn. Yes, that's Mackenzie Dern. You looking at the lady and not listening to me? How dare you? Imagine having Sonny as pound for pound. Hey, man, people put Tank Davis on their pound for pound. Bud Wood Canelo? Come on. You're not serious. You're not a serious person. He didn't whoop Canelo. Bro, he missed most of his punches. He landed a pathetic 20%. You can't convince me that he whooped him. Did he win? See, that's the thing. I can sit here and be like, yeah, I mean, I guess he won. He got a gift, but he didn't dominate. Canelo, could he have won? It would have been a tough sell that he won. I think he could have got a draw. But what about what's gonna happen next? Do you guys want to see Canelo Crawford 2? Is that something you guys would like to see? Does anybody want to see it again? What is it such a banger of a fight that you guys want to see it again? That's the other thing. I mean, a lot of people were happy about it, but nobody's sitting saying they want to see it again. Right? Give me 1 second. All right, thank you. Anyway, does anybody want to see it again? Run it back, Canelo goes to sleep. See, a lot of people are saying that. You're Sugger Sam. I don't know, man. There's a lot of trolls. I don't care who you are, bro. Just hit the like and subscribe. That's all I need from you to do, right? Help a brother out. We all need help. But does anybody want to see a part 2? Is anybody ready for a part 2? Was it a good enough fight to warrant a part 2? I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. Crawford is talking about, look, man, we know he's not going to fight anytime soon. The guy fights once a year, maybe once a year, right? And Canelo had surgery. It was Turki Ali's plan to have him fight Hamza Shiraz had he won, but nobody wants to see two Matador. Nobody wants to see another Tom and Jerry. Exactly. Look, man. Crawford did not stand his ground. Maybe like 1 or 2 rounds, but he did a lot of moving. Let's not say running, a lot of moving. Crawford should fight Candle in a rematch, then retire. But my opinion is he doesn't want to fight Canelo again. He won't want to. Even though it'll be the most lucrative, even though it will be the most lucrative rematch, I don't think he would want to fight Canelo. Bomac, his trainer, is saying that he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to. So, you know, the Crawford crowd, the fans, the his trainer, the people. They all saying Crawford can do what he wants to do, and that means that he doesn't have to fight Canelo again. It's like he already beat him. He dominated. See, that's where the domination is, that they can get away with not getting a rematch. And the truth also is that, Canelo hasn't said what he wants to do. That because Canelo hasn't said what he wants to do, to people, to the haters, they believe that means that he knows that he can't win. That's what they're saying. They're saying Canelo got dominated. He doesn't want a rematch, and we know that because he's not saying anything, and he knows he'll lose again. And it's looking kind of bad. Canelo not saying anything does look kind of bad, but I that's never been Canelo's style anyway. Canelo don't want the rematch, bro. I don't know. I can't sit here and say he does because he hasn't said anything, but it's not his style. Look, if he fought Triple G and those were brutal, bloody battles, I mean, that was a way harder fight than anything Mayweather or Crawford did. So if a guy is willing to fight a monster like Triple G in 3 fights, but also back to back, then you can't tell me that he's afraid of Crawford pity patting and running around. Like, there's just, and when he fought Mayweather, he just like Manny Pacquiao, I'm sure he wanted the rematch, but Mayweather, you know how he is. He didn't want to test the waters again. Canelo's tough. Nobody thinks that he's not tough. Crawford was in a very close fight. He was in a tough fight. He took some heavy shots. You can't tell me that he didn't. There was some shots that I could tell that Crawford, I don't know. I'm not going to say he was hurt. I think he was hurt, but they definitely affected him. Okay. Crawford didn't sit and exchange. So if you think he wasn't afraid of Canelo, then you're mistaken. I'm not saying he was afraid, but he knew Canelo was dangerous. Because if Canelo wasn't dangerous, he would have got Canelo out of there. That's the other thing. Oh, he's going to get Canelo. No, he would have did it. Stop saying that he could have did it, but he didn't. And there's a reason he didn't. And you're going to use the 12th round. Okay, so 30 seconds of him flailing his arms is a reason to say that he could have knocked Canelo out, and then next time he'll do it. I don't know, man. I think a lot of us watch a different sport. Canelo haters like Ginger. If he wanted it, would happen. Well, it's up to Bud Crawford too, because Crawford has not said what he wants to do. Fan of no man, just fact. What is the facts? What are you saying that Canelo? What's the fact? That he don't want it? Look, if he said he don't want it, then show me where he said it, and that'd be a fact. But look, it's never been his style to duck, and he fought Triple G 3 times. Now I know you may not be a boxing fan, because if you are, you would have seen those fights, and you know that there was a lot more exchanges, a lot more damage in those fights between those guys than 100 Crawford fights. Crawford did not do anything. He did a lot of boxing. He outboxed Canelo, right? For 6 rounds, he outboxed Canelo. But there was never a point in time where I thought it was a great fight and they were exchanging and, oh, this is must-see TV. It just wasn't. I'm glad. If they were going to make me pay for it, I wasn't going to pay for it, because I figured it'd be a dull fight. It was dull. Let me ask you, Vaughn, did you think it was a terribly exciting fight? Did you watch last week Fabio Wardley and Josh Parker? Did you watch that fight? That was an exciting fight. That was a banger. There were ebbs and flows. Parker was outboxing. Wardley was landing heavy punches. I mean, they were going at it. That didn't happen with Canelo Alvarez. So I don't know how Crawford dominated. And this is all what I've seen. If I never seen the Exodus Files, it was never made, I still would think the same thing. But at least with them making it, I have data, facts, ideas to fall back on. I mean, just looking at the CompuBox punch stats alone, it's fairly obvious to show that Crawford didn't do very much the first 3 rounds and 5 rounds. Now, Vaughn, let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's put up $50 each, okay, each, and we can watch it together, and you can point out where Crawford dominated and hurt Canelo Alvarez. Okay, it just didn't happen. None of those things happened, bro. You seen through a fan? Look, what fan? A fan of Canelo Alvarez? Look, he lost. That's not being a fan. what a fan would be me trying to tell you that he won and you don't know what you're watching. Now that's what Bud Crawford fans are trying to tell us. You don't even have to be a Canelo fan. There's plenty of people that are not a fan of either guy that feel that it was a close fight and could have gone either way, and that not much happened. That it was a boring fight. There were moments like 10-second, 15-second moments that were fairly exciting, but for the majority about it, it's been a while seeing you live. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, you gotta take a break from this shit. Social media is toxic. Don't get it twisted. It is a toxic environment. People beef, they have disagreements, they want to pull up, they want to fight. So, I take breaks, man. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love boxing. I love talking to you guys, talking with you guys. I dropped the link, so I don't know. Hit it. Hit the like though. Um, but you gotta have a break here and there. Just like with chicks, man. If I'm dating a chick, I need a break. I can't see her every day. I love pizza. I can't eat pizza every day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect your own thinking sometimes. You weren't even here for Canelo Bud build up. Yeah, man. I mean, look, man, it is. I had to do some stuff around the house. Things need fixing, and I gotta get to work. I gotta put in the work and make things happen. But when I get a chance, when I get time, I like to come in. Um, I've been around, but I just don't get too involved. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy you guys are here. I'm happy you're involved. I love it. I'm involved. Then I'll take a break, bam, boom, back. You know what I'm saying? But like what I said with my chick, I need a break sometimes. I need to breathe, girl. Back up off me. That's just being a man. You can't be around a woman 24/7. She'll get on your nerves. Just like with the homeboys. Your homeboys, your family, everybody, brother, sister, they get on your nerves sometimes, right? You're like, I need a break from y'all. I consider you guys family, believe it or not. And family fights. And you gotta take a chill pill. Then the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and we see each other, love each other, talk some shit, and then boom, bam, bing, bye. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you again in a while. So it's like love hate, and it's definitely love hate with boxing. But the Canelo Crawford, it look, man, it was a good fight in the sense that they're two elite fighters. Canelo Alvarez is an elite fighter. I believe he's still an elite fighter. I think he still has things left to give. Um, is he at the top of the game? Thank you, Pounds, another real one. Familia, that's right. Uh, I think he still has things to give. Now, if the new people entering talk, I don't know if you watched the Exodus Files. Nello sold his ass. Come on, Pounds. Ay, ay, ay. Amigo. It'll be smart of you to give me a wrench, dog. I don't do that, bro. I am the wrench. Look, man, I want freedom of speech. You can love me, hate me. I don't care. But I don't want people in here censoring other people. You feel me? I like to have it open, bro. I believe in. That's why I'm here to hear you guys. Nello sold his ass. You think so? Not a good fight, lousy, boring. I agree. It had moments. Like it wasn't completely boring. It wasn't a complete waste of time, but it wasn't anything that you're really gonna watch again. Like Mayweather Castillo is a fight I'll watch again. Mayweather Cotto, a fight I'll watch again. Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez 1 and 2, I've watched probably 20 times. I've watched Canelo Golovkin so many times, and I've always tried. I don't. Every time you watch Canelo Golovkin, you can have a different winner, and I really think that the Crawford Canelo fight's the same way. Look, man, people gave rounds to who they wanted to give the rounds to. It's me, Alonzo. So stop. Okay, Alonzo, you're cool here, bro. I got a problem, but I don't. You already know I don't give wrenches to anybody. New sub here, much respect. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the link if you want to hit the link. Eubanks with Bomac training them. Oh yeah, that's coming up. So boxing has been slow. It's picking back up. A lot of rumors floating. Salute. Okay. Yeah, man, I don't do that, bro. I am the wrench. That's all you need to know. But hey, I appreciate it. Hey, you can always ask. How about that? Never hurt. Shoot your shot. You know, if you see a chick in the store, shoot your shot. All she's gonna say is hell to the no, you hella ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need to put your cologne on, comb your fucking hair. Ryan versus Barrios, yes, yes, next year. I hope that happens. You know, maybe Manny Pacquiao and uh, Rolly Romero, Mayweather Pacquiao 2. That's what I don't want to see it. I don't care, but if it's free, I'm gonna watch it. You know, and we don't know what Canelo's gonna do. So, God, what do you guys want to see Canelo do? What about this? You know, let's leave Canelo out of it. Let's just say Ryan getting a shot next is ludicrous. No, it's not, bro. He makes the most money. I hear what you're saying from a sporting perspective. Yes, it's insane. Ryan, to me, I think he laid down. So can I get rid of the loud? Bro, I'm okay with it. It helps me, believe it or not. You know, every like, every comment, believe it or not, helps me. You know, I don't mind it. I'd be talking to, dude, if I was just banning people I didn't like, I'd have nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I like it. I get it. Why are you begging for rent sucker activities? Hey man, you can always ask, shoot your shot. I'm just letting him know that I'm, you know, I'm free speech. You know, unless you say some sick stuff. Don't say anything about children or beating women. We don't condone hurting children or beating women. You know, politics is another round. We talk boxing here. That's what I do here. Talk boxing. I don't do the internet beefs. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do it. It's not my thing. I look, you guys all have an opinion and I respect it. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that you're willing to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really comes down to. So let's just talk about Crawford. Okay, Crawford won. You know, we have all dealt with it. We don't condone tankstivities. Exactly. We don't condone that, bro. So as long as you don't say anything out of bounds, out of pocket with women and children, you're good here. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to talk shit to each other, by all means, go ahead. Just hit the like. That's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? And try to keep it boxing. You know, we can talk about other things. You know, like I said, salute to all the LA peoples with the Dodgers victory. They're tearing the city up, right? Congrats. You know, they stole a dub from Canada, the Canadians, but we Americans, you know, well, I think we all are. Tank graduated from assault to kidnapping. Is that what they said? It's kidnapping now? But you know what? It's not criminal. It's just a civil case that Stankona is trying to get some dinero, and I guess she was a scripper. Look, man, you can't love these girls. You can't love them though. You can't love these hoes, man. That is man's downfall. The downfall of man is one man, right? That's the first story. Is the downfall of man was one man. But see, the mistake is you just can't love them. Now you can love them, but you just can't fall in love with them, right? Like you can fall in love with them, but you can't love them over yourself. Does that make sense? You know, they're women. We don't understand them. They're different from us. You know, so respect the difference. Treat them right. If she gets loud with you, if she talks back to you, go get another one. That's the crazy thing. Is like, dude, there's millions and millions of women that will want to be with you. As stanky and ugly as you are, there's somebody for everybody. So, you know, don't let one woman ruin your life. That's what she wants. And you know what? She'll ruin your life that day, and then she'll go be with the next dude. So while you're in jail because you put hands on her, she's laid up with the next dude talking shit about you. Ain't that a bitch? Right? So don't fall for it, man. Let her go. Be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Just tell her what she wants to hear, and you're good. Keep it about exactly. So what should Crawford do? What do you guys, since that's what I was gonna say. Let's just say he dominated Canelo. Okay, fine. Crawford dominated Canelo. He's the Mount Rushmore. He's the greatest. What should he do? I mean, this is the greatest, right? He should fight Benavidez. He should fight Bivol. I mean, we're talking about the greatest boxer on the planet. I mean, look, he's better than Usyk. He's better than Nui. He's the greatest. He's better than Mayweather. He's better than Leonard. Beating Canelo made him the greatest boxer ever. He's right there with Ali. That's the belief. That's the consensus. That's what they want us to believe. You know, Max Kellerman, Andre Board, they're telling us that he's the greatest fighter on the planet that we've ever seen. So if he is, why don't you want to fight Benavidez? Because when they asked the trainer about Benavidez, he said hell to the no. Bivol, hell to the no. Tank learned well from Floyd. Yeah, man, it's weak. It's weak. Now, look, man, we've all been hurt by women. I have. I've been dumped. I've been played. You know, you're not a real man until you have. And I've been hurt by, I'm not afraid to say it. Women have hurt me to the point that maybe I wanted to hurt them, but I was taught better. You know what I'm saying? That was being a man, is like, be a man. You don't ever hurt a woman. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever uh, put your hands on a woman. So, and that's learned behavior too. Because if you've seen that growing up, if you've seen uh, a mom, sister, somebody, a woman abused 9 out of 10 times, you're liable to become an abuser yourself. So, yeah, man, we don't condone that. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna pay, so you don't get away from it, dude. I could never hurt a woman and then sleep next to her, dude. I'm thinking she's gonna cut my, you know what, off my nalgas. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so what should Crawford do? You know what I'm saying? Nello should have told Bud if he wanted that shot, he needed to take a fight. Yeah, but the money was too good, Pounds. Um, that's fine, bro. You guys can have your beef. I don't care. Just hit the like, brother. Everybody's welcome. My haters, the supporter, everybody's welcome. This is free speech. But anyway, you know, Bud Crawford, we know he's not gonna do anything. That's what I know. He's not gonna fight anytime soon. Um, but yeah, the money was too good, and he said he wants 100 million for his next fight. You guys want to talk about Stanky Davis? Tank lost out on a payday for being a knucklehead. Yeah, but he was always a knucklehead. When did you ever think that he was smart? That's what I want to know. When did you ever think that he was a cool stand-up guy? Was Tank, and I don't want to judge him, I don't know him personally, but was Tank Davis ever a good character for you? Like, did you ever think he was a good guy, that he was helping little old ladies across the street and carrying the groceries? No, he probably was a thug. You know what I'm saying? He probably was a thug, you know, and ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, as long as you don't commit crimes, you know, if you want to listen to rap music, if you want to hang with gang members or whatever, hey, it's a free country. You can do what you want. But the moment that your personal life interferes with your business, but how you feed yourself, how you take care of your family, then you have to be man enough, smart enough to get yourself out of the situation. Now, like some of you, are probably from the streets, and there's probably street in us. You know what I'm saying? I've been in street stuff. You guys have probably been in street activities, but you realize that you're not just hurting yourself, but you're hurting your family. You know, if you get in trouble, you're gonna hurt your mother, you're gonna hurt your father. You know what I'm saying? If you have children, if you're in the streets and you're driving drunk and you're hanging out with the wrong people, you're gonna hurt the people that love you. You know, you may not love yourself, but the people you're gonna hurt people, and that's what, you know, Tank Davis has to live with. He's a knucklehead. Ain't nothing wrong with being a knucklehead. Look, man, we've all done things that we're not proud of, but at a certain point in time, you have to mature out of that. Tank Davis is a role model. You know, he's not my role model. I would never raise any of my children to view Tank Davis as a role model. But you know, we live in a culture, society, that we have like influencers, YouTubers. You know, they do the pranks, they do all these crazy things for likes and views. You know, that's just the world. So people get twisted that they have no morals. They have nobody wants to test. Exactly, it's still in you, but you're not putting your family in danger. I hope not. At least I hope not. You know what I'm saying? Look, you can hurt yourself, but don't get anybody else hurt. But Tank Davis never appeared to me that he was anybody that was to look up to. So people People acting surprised is not surprising. That's one thing about Terrence Crawford, right? Well, actually, I think he did have some goon activities. He got shot, or he shot somebody, or his people shot somebody. Look, man, it's life. I think Canelo's brother got kidnapped before, so it's a violent, brutal world. But we always have choice, So Tank Davis should not have went to the strip club that day. Did he make a mistake? Yes, but we always have a choice, man, of where and who we want to be and where to be and how to live our lives. Are we put in positions, and do we find ourselves in positions that could be get us in trouble? Yes, but we always have a choice to be in those positions. Um, I haven't watched boxing since Better Be a B-Ball. Why? Cutthroat, where I don't know you. Who cares about boxing? I care. Why don't you care about boxing? You know, that's fine. I get it. There's days that I don't care for it. Like with the Bud Crawford thing, you know, I don't think he dominated. He did not dominate. So I'm gonna drop the link one more time. I just wanted to come out, kind of touch on the Exodus Files, for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known. See what you guys think. Virgil versus Lubin, war. Virgil should dominate. The only thing that I don't want to see happen, all right, is Virgil take damage. Because I think that could be possible. Because I guess Jaron Ennis is going to be at the fight. Okay, that's what I'm not going to do, is tell other dudes to do stuff. I don't give a shit. You guys hash it out. You know what I'm saying? Join a Discord, a message room, and you guys can exchange numbers and beef all you want. But Virgil is going to be a banger. Virgil Bencini. Dude, it's the way he fights. He's a pressure fighter. Lubin gonna get stretched? I hope so. But look, man, he's dangerous because he can crack. He was fucking up Fedora in a war. So Lubin is ready to go to war, and that's the scary thing. Lubin ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? He's not a back foot bitch. He's ready for war. You feel me? Like that's his game, is war. So, and Virgil, he ain't no punk either. He's ready to throw down. Give me 1 second. It's going to be a bloodbath, but it don't need to be. Virgil can get him out there efficiently and quickly and be ready for Jaron Ennis. But that's what Jaron Ennis is looking for. That was a smart tactic that Floyd Mayweather used, right? He wouldn't fight a guy when they were in their prime or when they were dangerous. Floyd Mayweather would only fight people after he's seen a vulnerability. So if Virgil looks destructive and takes no damage, Jaron Ennis will not want that fight. But if Virgil takes a lot of damage, even in a victory, Jaron Ennis will want him there and then on the spot. And that's kind of the plan, has been to get Virgil right after a fight, right? So Jaron Ennis has had time. When was the last time Jaron Ennis actually had a fight? That wasn't a fight. That was a lay down. So he hasn't took any damage. By the time if Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis fight, Virgil will be coming out of a war, and Jaron Ennis will be fresh as daisies. And that's kind of like how Bud Crawford has his career, right? He sits on the sidelines. He's gonna let the guys fight at middleweight, or whoever he's gonna fight. He's gonna let them take damage, and then he's gonna come in and fight them. And that's the problem, bro. Look, we like these guys. Yeah, Marquez, exactly. That's when Floyd, and same with Miguel Cotto. If Miguel Cotto would have never took that hellacious beating at the hands of Margarito, Floyd would have never fought Miguel Cotto. But he had got so badly damaged that, of course, Floyd wanted Miguel Cotto afterwards. So, but hey, that's the game. That's boxing. That's the chess moves, But I call it for what it is. And yes, he's been in wars lately. He may have another war. So, but maybe that's the only way he fights. I thought he took some down. I don't think it was a war with Madrimov, but he definitely took some damage. Look, man, each fight takes something out of a fighter. It just does. There's unless you got that fucking Lima, you get cans like that. Saludos, thank you. Que chingue, my mess. I thought something. Nah, man, I told you guys, I just take breaks here and there. So when I dip out, and then I come back longer and stronger. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the pushing. Come back longer and stronger. And I'm gonna step my YouTube game up. Get the videos going, get the subjects going. So we do it bigger, better, and badder. That's what it's about growth. And social media is very toxic, so I like to take breaks. But I'm glad you guys keep it popping. You guys keep it real. Where you guys been, man? You guys still visit the YouTube streets? And I love the YouTube streets, man. And exactly, man. We got some bangers coming up, big fights. Hopefully Haney and Norman stay on course. There's always suspicion they pull out. Just like Floyd Schofield pulled out. Um, but yeah, and then Picasso versus Nui. Could you imagine if the Mexican beats Nui? I think they were supposed to fight before, but yeah, man. I'm Team Virgil. I think Jaron Ennis is a. I've been Yeah, man. You got to though. That's the realest though. Shout out to the dudes that keep it popping. Coach Eddie was coming through with. Yeah, he was, but man, I ain't tripping. He just accused me of things that I'm not guilty of. So I don't deal with the accusations. Pitbull versus Roach. Yeah, salute to Pitbull. Pitbull. Robert Garcia thinks he can pull it off, and I think Lamont Roach is being set up. I think the PBC wants him to lose, and then that way, because you got a peep game. If Pitbull beats Lamont Roach, then that will give Tank Davis to be able to fight Pitbull, a guy he already beat, and will probably be a better matchup for him than rematch Roach, who could possibly beat him. That's kind of how they think. So Lamont doesn't realize that he's walking into a booby trap. That fake Eddie calling people. Yeah, and that's the thing. Don't look, man, unless you have some tape or somewhere I'm actually racist, then fine, use it against me. But if you're just accusing me, trying to make me look bad, then it's not gonna happen. Who are you taking? Norman versus Dev. Dollar Dev. Okay. I can't stand. He owns me, maybe, but that's your opinion. Okay. The YouTube streets are dead now. It's called the T sec. Yeah, I don't deal with the tea, brother. That's why I dip here and there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? And the drama. It's fun. It's fun for like an hour. It's fun for like one day out of the week. But don't be calling people Crips, Eddie boys. Look, man, I can say what I want, but I understand. Coach Eddie coaches Little League. Yeah. Look, man, people are going to disagree, but, it's just an opinion. But anyway, back to Dev and Norman. Okay, here's my thing. I can't stand Davina Hankey. I call him Davina Hankey. Like, you can't sue boxers. You can't sue people. You just can't. That's bitch made. Okay? I get it, but it's bitch made. But make no mistake about it, Devin Haney can stink the joint out. He can jab and grab and beat Norman. Because there's my thing. Who is Norman? Can you guys tell me who Brian Norman Jr. is? Who did he beat? Santinian? And then the reason Norman is getting hype is that knockout of Sasaki. Bro, come on. You're hyping Norman because he knocked out who? Sasaki? Like, that dude was a scrub. Like, that dude was wild, bro. That was Norman duck boots. Dev beats Norman. I'm telling you, people are gonna be surprised. Devin Haney has the ability to be William Skull, right? Like, think about what William Skull did to Canelo. People are not peeping game. Norman catches Dev, it's over. Yeah, but bro, he can William Skull him. Devin has that ability, and he's gonna be just as big, if not bigger, than Norman. That's another thing. Devin is very big. You don't think he can frustrate Norman? You don't think he can get up 3-4 rounds? Imagine the fight we're in the 6th round, and Devin is possibly up on the scorecard 4-2 because he's just frustrating Norman, holding him, turning him, pushing his head down, elbowing him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys don't understand. Norman is not some fucking look, man. He's not look. I talk shit about Jaron Ennis, but he's very good. He's explosive. Norman is not that dude. Dude, Norman got handled by a dude named Boca Chico. He got rocked. Norman is not that dude, bro. He not yet. Yeah, he's gonna fight like Shakira to get the dub. You guys are not peeping that, dude. He's good enough that he could be William Skull. He could William Skull, and Norman is not as good as Canelo, where he can maybe find other ways. But Devin Haney definitely has the ability to stink the joint out so bad, and it's going to be on the undercard. And it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Norman ain't ready for that. He's with Snack. You guys are missing a lot. There's a reason they wanted to fight Norman. They don't believe he's that good, and I'm not. I don't hype Norman up. Bill or Norman, it ain't. And that probably Norman because he's an ex-fighter, but neither one. I mean, neither guy is that good, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, people are picking Norman because how Haney look, which I get, but it's not like Norman is some badass killer. He beat Satidian. He got rocked by Boca Chico, right? And he knocked out Jin Sasaki. The dude's name is Jin. He knocked out a dude named Jin. Like, is that who we're really hyping as like some killer of killers? So, you tell me. I know some pretty weak trainers. Look, man, a trainer's only as good as the horse he's riding on, right? It don't matter. You could be the greatest trainer in the world, but if you don't have sucky fighters, you know what I'm saying? So, like, imagine if the greatest trainer in the world sound like a yeah. There's a meme going around Dodger fan base and the actual Dodger players. It's hella funny. They look like a K-pop band, right? So the what was that? Oakland stand up, Oaktown in the house. Yeah, look, man. If it was about trainers, then if I was a trainer, let's say I was a trainer, right? You know who I would go get? I would go get a big ass white boy and make him heavyweight champ. Think about how much money you would make with a white American heavyweight champion. And with that, I gotta run, fellas. It's been real. I appreciate it. But I'll revisit this. I'm gonna have more info. But go watch the Exodus Files. Uh, if you can't find it, look it up. Exodus Files. I try to tag it. BDA has it on his channel. Salute BDA. Thank you for visiting, joining. Well, yeah, the Great White Hope. Imagine how much money you can make. So that's the thing with trainers, bro. That's who you would go with, right? And actually, any white fighter, get a white fighter, just like a white rapper, right? That's where the money's at. So with that, we out, fellas. Peace.